A senior North Korean military official, General Kang Sun Nam, has issued a stark warning of all-out war following a deadly exchange of fire along the heavily fortified, demilitarized zone separating the two Koreas. The incident, described by South Korean officials as the most serious breach of the 1953 armistice in years, began when a squad of North Korean soldiers crossed the military demarcation line. According to the South Joint Chief of Staff, the unit, numbering approximately 20 to 30 soldiers, crossed the line in the central sector of the DMZ near the town of Pyongyang. The incursion was detected by surveillance equipment, and South Korean forces issued multiple verbal warnings via loudspeakers, which were ignored. The North Korean troops continued to advance, and reports indicate they were armed with light infantry weapons and pickaxes or shovels, leading to initial confusion about their intent, whether it was a deliberate provocation, a defection attempt, or a misoriented patrol. As the group moved further south, ignoring warning shots fired into the air, a South Korean army unit stationed at a guard post opened direct fire toward the ground near the soldiers' feet. North Korean troops returned fire, initiating a brief but intense firefight that lasted several minutes. The exchange resulted in an unknown number of North Korean casualties, with South Korean intelligence assessing that at least 5 soldiers were killed and several more wounded before the remaining unit retreated back across the border. South Korea reported no casualties on its side, attributing this to their fortified defensive position and the element of surprise they maintained. The response from Pyongyang was swift and furious. A statement was read on state-controlled Korean Central Television by General Kang Sun Nam, the Minister of the People's Armed Force. He condemned the South action as an unpardonable and premeditated military provocation and a flagrant violation of the armistice agreement. The general's rhetoric was exceptionally belligerent. Even by North Korean standard, he declared that the traitorous puppet forces of the South will bear the full responsibility for the spilled blood of our heroic soldiers. The core of his statement was an unambiguous threat. Any further reckless act of aggression would be met with our military overwhelming and merciless retaliatory strike. We are prepared to enter an all-out war to defend our sovereignty and dignity. The sea of fire we have promised will become a reality, engulfing the entire Korean Peninsula. This language has historically preceded periods of intense military tension and has analysts deeply concerned about the potential for rapid escalation from a localized skirmish to a broader conflict. The North Korean government has also announced it is withdrawing from all remaining communication hotlines with the South and is placing all its frontline artillery, rocket, and missile units on their highest states of alert. The international reaction has been one of extreme alarm. The United Nations Command, which oversees the armistice, has called for an emergency meeting with representatives from both sides, though North Korea has so far refused to participate. In Washington, the administration of President Donald Trump is monitoring the situation with what officials describe as grave seriousness. Secretary of State Marco Rubio and Secretary of Defense Peter Hegseth have been in constant consultation with National Security Advisor and Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard. A statement from the Pentagon emphasized the United States' ironclad commitment to the defense of South Korea. Our forces in the region are at a high level of readiness, and we are coordinating closely with our ally, the Republic of Korea, to ensure we are prepared for any contingency. The statement read, Secretary Rubio has been engaged in frantic diplomatic calls with his counterparts in Seoul, Tokyo, and Beijing, urging restraint and a de-escalation of tensions. The primary focus of American diplomacy appears to be on China, North Korea's main benefactor. Rubio is understood to have pressed Chinese officials to use their influence in Pyongyang to prevent further dangerous actions, framing the crisis as a potential threat to regional stability that is in no one's interest. South Korea's government, under President Yoon Suk Yeol, has maintained a firm but measured posture. In a national address, President Yoon stated that the military's response was appropriate and necessary to defend our territorial integrity. He affirmed that while South Korea seeks peace, it will not tolerate any form of armed provocation. The South Korean military has elevated its watch condition, alert level, and has deployed additional assets, including drones and surveillance aircraft, along the entire DMZ. The South Korean public has reacted with a mixture of anxiety and resolve, with many citizens remembering the sharp escalations in tension that have occurred over the decades. The incident has immediately dominated news cycles and sparked intense debate among military analysts. Some experts suggest the North Korean incursion may have been a deliberate test of the South and the new American administration's resolve, a common tactic by Pyongyang to gauge reaction and create leverage. Others speculated could have been an accident, a patrol that simply got lost, though the armed response and the high-level belligerent rhetorics from the North make this seem less likely. The coming hours and days will be critical. The key question is whether North Korea will follow through on its threat with another, more significant military action, such as an artillery barrage or a missile test, or whether this incident will, like others before it, gradually de-escalate after a period of high tension. The presence of a new and untested administration in Washington adds a significant layer of uncertainty to an already volatile situation. That's all for me for today. If you liked the video presentation and you would like to follow for more, hit that subscribe and like button now, and we will continue to build the show for you. Thank you to all of you guys who have subscribed. It means a lot to me. Thank you so much. I will see you soon. Bye for now.